Hey there, this is Barton Hammond, and I'm going to introduce you to Meteor Kitchen. It's located at meteorkitchen.com. It's a code generator for Meteor. It uses a single JSON file as its input and generates tons of boilerplate code, helping you get a running application with minimal effort. So we'll have a little bit of an overview of the kitchen. We'll look at the public menus. We'll look at the private menus you have when you register and log in. We'll look at the to-do demo that we're going to build, and we'll look at the GitHub repository that contains the source. Here at Meteor Kitchen, one thing that you'll want to realize is that this website was built with Meteor Kitchen. The entire website is coming from a JSON file, and you'll learn more about that as we go along. If you look at the getting started, as I did, it looked to me like I was going to have to build everything from the command line, giving the Meteor Kitchen bin directory and giving the input and the output values. And if you look at the file, it's in JSON. And so when I first started working with Meteor Kitchen, I was doing it by hand on the command line, creating my JSON files, and I found that that was rather difficult. But we'll see a better way here in a minute. If you want to look at some examples, there's some live examples of numerous applications that are all built with Meteor Kitchen. The source code is available too. And what's interesting is the source code is just JSON. For all of the different components and the architecture, you can see the API for everything, all the different values and what the required fields are and the optional fields. The version of Meteor Kitchen that we'll be working with is 0936. So just give you an idea, if you come back to this in the future and things have changed, well, the product is moving quickly. So what we want to do now is log in and look at an existing application that I've worked on so you can see what the menu options are once you register. I already have an account, so let me come into it. Okay, so what we have here now is we're still seeing the menu options above that are the public ones, but once I select my application that I'm going to work on, which I've already have, notice I get new menu options. It takes a little while to load it over the web, and I don't have the fastest internet access, so it'll take a minute here. What we're going to be looking at is the designer. The designer is where we interact with the JSON file. We have inputs, we have required fields, we have relationships, we have inheritance, or not inheritance, but containment. Anyway, we'll see all these different relationships. So this kind of takes you away from having to deal with the minute detail of the JSON file itself. What you'll also see here, next to all of the field labels, you'll see there's a little help. So that helps a lot. That's why it's help. So next to the designer, we have the edit source. I use the edit source to download my JSON file. You can see the JSON file here that we're going to be working with. And you can copy and paste one in here and then save it, or you can download this and run it on your command line. And that's what we'll be doing. The sitemap gives you a little bit of an overview of the pages that are involved, and you'll notice that there's a public zone and a private zone. The same way with the website when we logged in. On the public side, we saw the API and the JSON commands and everything, and on the private side, we're looking at these values here. The database is under construction, and we'll look at that maybe someday in the future. The build and run, I don't use this at all. I use only the edit source, and we'll see that in a little bit. So now let's go look at the actual application that we're going to build. It's running at meteor_kitchen_todo.meteor.com. This is the application that's generated and built with Meteor Kitchen. If you hit the continue button, you go to the registration page. You can go to sign up. You can go to your lost password. So the normal things you would expect with a basic app framework. So let's go to register. I'll put in my name here. And we are now going to be in the application, and as it shows, there's nothing here. There's no to-dos. Now all the to-dos that we'll be making with this application will be owned to the person that's logged in, of course. So let's make our first to-do. And we can put in the title, we can mark it as completed, and we can save it. And now we have one item, and we have some filtering that's done. We have a pencil to edit it, and so we can mark that as complete. We save that value, and we can delete it. So pretty basic, but a little bit of work, a little bit of things to learn. So let's go back out. Let's log out. Let's go to the source code in GitHub. So what you'll see here is a README, which is general or common. The to-do JSON is logged in. This is what the JSON is that we'll be building. And there's a lot here, but the designer abstracts all that out and gives a nice interface for it. We will have one small file that we have to write for custom server methods. We'll look at that later. And then I use this little bash shell script here. And all I'm doing is when I download the to-do JSON file, I move it from the download directory to my project's to-do kitchen. And that is then in a place where I can run Meteor Kitchen, use the input, the JSON file from the designer, and build out my app. So this should have given you a little bit of an overview of Kitchen, what the public menus look like, what the private menus look like with the designer. You saw what the to-do demo looked like, and you saw the GitHub. So we'll start looking at the application in the next video.